Ever wondered if you could retire on a Royal Caribbean cruise? Yes, you can, and today I'll crunch the numbers for you. Hello, my friends. This is an exciting time for us cruisers because we're seeing the 2027 itineraries getting posted on most major cruise lines. And as you've been told by just about every YouTuber out there and travel agents, you'll always get the best prices if you book as early as possible. Now, I'm not so sure about that myself, so I'll actually be doing a video later comparing booking early to booking later, head to head. So if you're interested in seeing that, please hit that subscribe and the alerts button so you won't miss it. But today I'm doing a 3-month itinerary for 2027 that might help you decide if you truly can retire on a cruise ship. Now let's get started. The first thing I want to do is just take a look to see what they're offering. I see there are some good prices out of San Juan, but I'm not going to do that, and I'll tell you why in a moment. And then you'll also see that they've got some sailings on the Icon of the Seas that I'm going to avoid because it's just way too costly for most cruisers. If you want to see a price comparison, I actually did one, and I'll post that link in the description below. Also, people have some pretty strong opinions about Icon, and if you have any input you'd like to share, good or bad, please post it in the comments section below. And while you're at it, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and help me prove that an old retiree like me really can have a YouTube channel. Thank you. I'm going to settle on the Adventure of the Seas because it's one of their older ships, which tends to be a lot cheaper. But it's still new enough to have a lot of the activities that I enjoy, like the Perfect Storm water slide. And don't judge me, I am a retiree, but I do still love a good but not too intense water slide. You'll see that I'm booking out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and there's a really good reason I went with that choice. If you're doing long-term cruising, it's always a good idea to use a departure port where you're kind of familiar. That's because you really might get sick or injured or even have a cruise that outright cancels, though that last one is extremely rare. And if something like that does happen, you don't want to be dumped in a place that's completely foreign to you, if at all possible. So since I have family and friends in Fort Lauderdale and can always get a hotel room and have plenty of access to medical or dental care if I needed it, it makes Fort Lauderdale a great place for my home departure port. And that's why I didn't go for those ones out of San Juan. That's a flight home for me if something goes wrong. And if you've been booted off of a ship because you're sick, the last thing you want to do is go on a flight somewhere. It's not good for you or the people around you. Also take note of the dates as they pop up on your screen, and you'll see that these are back-to-back cruises, so there won't be any hotel stays in between sailing. You'll also see that I'm listening to all of you who put in the comments that yes, you'd rather have your fingernails pulled off than stay 3 months in an interior cabin. I get it, I really do. But just realize that if you truly are considering this type of lifestyle, you're really not going to be spending a lot of time in your cabin anyway. And sometimes balcony cabins can cost twice as much, no exaggeration. So if you're truly retired, that might hurt. But I'm actually with you. If I can afford a balcony, I always go for it. Especially if it's an itinerary that's new to me, where I might want to have some easy access to the scenery. But that's not the case today. As you can see, during the 3 months that I'm planning, the Adventure of the Seas is sticking to the Caribbean, both Western and Southern Caribbean itineraries. And that warm weather is going to feel so good when everyone else is shoveling their driveways. You'll see that I always choose my own cabin. Yes, you can save money and let the cruise line choose your cabin for you. But if you're doing back-to-back cruising, that means that every 7 days you're going to have to pack up and move. And that's just not the way I want to spend my retirement. I'm also happy to be doing this video way in advance because it shows you that it really is possible to get the same cabin for every single cruise. But you do have to book early to do this. In my opinion, this is the biggest reason to book early, not the price difference, contrary to what everyone tells you. But like I said, I'll show you a price comparison of that in a future video, so please hit that subscribe button. You can also see from these subtotals that this is definitely not a cheap way of retiring. One of the reasons why I started posting these videos was because there are so many people out there telling us that retiring on a cruise ship is cheap. My friends, it is not cheap. The prices I'm showing you are for double occupancy, so they cover 2 people, and all of your food is included, but no alcohol or soda packages are included. It also doesn't cover gratuities, which will be added onto your bill at the rate of $18.50 per person per day. So for 2 people on a 7-day cruise, that's an additional $259 for just 1 week. Now, I know a lot of you will put in the comments that you can go to guest services and have them take this gratuity off of your final bill. You're right, you can. And I understand that we're all tired of cruise companies not paying their staff enough and then expecting us to tip heavily to help out. I'm actually going to do a video about this that explains why this is happening in a little more detail. But for me, I always tip the full amount, and if anything, I pay them extra. I just don't feel right not taking care of the people who are taking care of me. And when you're doing back-to-back cruising, this is especially important because you're going to get the same people helping you next week and the week after that. So I like to have a good relationship with them, but that's just me. So here it is, our final tally of $35,627.92. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure if I should add applause right now. Or maybe something more along the lines of this, because that price is really high. Now add in our gratuities for 2 people for 90 nights of cruising, which is $3,300, and we're at $38,927.92. Remember that if you're really thinking about living on board a cruise ship, that number covers a roof over your head and all your food. Not specialty dining though, so watch out for that. It also includes a ton of free entertainment and activities and takes you to some great destinations. Do numbers like this make you want to cruise full time? Or perhaps just do it during the winter season? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any long-term cruising numbers you'd like me to crunch in future videos, please also post them in the comments. And while you're at it, please hit that subscribe button because it nudges YouTube to promote my videos more. Thanks so much for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, and for making this such a wonderful, supportive community.